In today's video, I'm going to show you just how to have the $1,000 day. I'm super excited to break down this system for you because I know that it works. Make sure you watch this video all the way to the end because I'm going to tell you exactly how to recreate the $1,000 day for yourself. And if you skip out early, you're going to skip out on some of your paycheck. I'm going to show you some receipts from my debit terminal. Receipts from December 2020 until today. Keep in mind that we're going through our third lockdown and you will see how consistent my business is. I don't just make money at Christmas time and never make money again. The 10K in play system really works. On top of my debit printouts, I would say I bring in another $200 to $500 cash every single time that I work. Okay, so here's December. Look at the total. $957.81. This is January. Typically January people are super dead. $993.43. Another one in January. Over the $1,000 day. And again, remind you, there's cash on top of this. This is February. $956.08. February. $11.59. February. $919. March. $979. $11.66. April. 1171, May, over 1,000. And there's cash on top of all of these totals. So I wanted to show you what a breakdown of those days look like. So here is January 23rd. On this day, I rang out 1,026.22, not including cash. Just so you can see what my day looked like, I had a girl's cut, 4 men's cuts. This is color coded to be one client, so it's a balayage client, and then I had a color and haircut. Here is March 12th. My total this day was $1166.40. And this one I took the liberty to color code it for you. Here is one color service, 2 color services, and then a couple of cuts, men's cuts, a woman's cut, and then another girl came in for a toner refresh, and then another men's haircut. And both of these had product sales on top of them to increase the revenue for the day. I remember when I first started in the hair industry, and boy did life really suck. I was lucky to make $100 a day, and I rarely ever made that. I literally couldn't afford to do anything. Like, thank God I wasn't a vegetarian back then, because if I couldn't pack my lunch, or I forgot to pack my lunch, or I didn't have time, whatever, all I could afford to eat was a double junior bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's for $1.69, because it was the most amount of calories for the least amount of dollars. I remember for an entire year, I ate nothing but cereal and tuna sandwiches, because I was so determined to make it on my own. It wasn't even just my food that I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to live. I couldn't afford to pay for parking. I couldn't afford my car. I couldn't afford to go out with my friends. Like, never mind traveling or any of that fun stuff. Like, life was rough. And I remember thinking to myself that I need to change something. I either have to get better with hair so that I can get busier, or else I would have to change industries completely. And I didn't even care about thriving. I just wanted to survive and live a regular life. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you 5 simple things that you can implement into your business today. Your hair chair business, your clientele, even if you're working for someone else, that's your own little mini chair business. 5 simple things that you can implement into your chair business today so that you can work yourself closer towards having $1,000 day. Before we get into it though, I just want to get a little housekeeping out of the way. Do subscribe to our channel. We post new videos bi-weekly. Hit the little bell so that you're notified whenever these videos go live. Each of these videos are aimed to teach you something, either about yourself, your craft, or your little business. We're now making a little shift in our content. Rather than just teaching you about hair, we also want to teach you how to live an amazing life. Because hair can give you that lifestyle if you know the steps to put into place to get you there. Okay, step number 1 is actually just believing it was possible. Go back to the story that I just told you. I had a decision to make. I could either switch industries or learn to do things a little bit differently. And so what I knew was, even back then when minimum wage was $5, there were stylists charging $5,000 a day to speak on stage or do whatever it was that they were doing. So I knew it was possible. So that is step 1, believing that it's possible and believing that it's possible for you. There are a number of things that you can do to rewire your limiting beliefs or to get rid of them completely. And if you want to learn about all of them, you can head on over to 10kandplay.com. It is a course that we have going live that teaches you every single step in detail of how to get from $0 a day to $10,000 a month. For today, if you just want something that you can implement into your life right now, all you have to do is replace the thought. So when we think negatively, it's so easy to be like, just stop thinking like that. But that's not how the brain works. Honestly, the brain is meant to think. So if you just tell yourself to stop thinking, unless you're some master meditator, I can assure you that you're probably not going to stop thinking. You're going to keep thinking. So rather than telling yourself to stop thinking, replace that thought. The best part about belief is that you can borrow it if you don't have it. I know it might be hard to believe that you can have $1,000 day when you haven't done it before, but know that I'm a regular person just like you, and if I could do it, so can you. Anytime you have any moments of doubt, just think of all the receipts that I showed you and just know that I started just where you were at once upon a time. So if you're saying something like, I really suck at hair, say, I'm getting better at hair every single day. Or, clients never rebook with me. And just be like, I offer a service that people love and they love to come back and see me and they love to tell all their friends. Whatever might feel real and true to you is what you have to replace that thought with. Step number 2 of having $1,000 day is be worth it. There's a reason why CEOs get paid the big bucks. They look, walk, talk, and behave like $1 million. You may not feel that way now, but you can work your way towards that. There's 2 parts to this. 1, charge your worth, and 2, be worth it. I remember when I first started in the industry, my prices were a lot lower because it took me a long time to execute services. I had a lot more questions. Sometimes I needed help. But as I started to develop and train and learn, I was able to increase my prices. I have now developed my eye so much that I can look at damaged hair and tell why it's damaged. I can tell if it was damaged from a ponytail. I can tell if it was burnt from heat. I can tell if it was damaged by brushing. Like, how nuts is that? Looking at a split end and knowing what happened. So for you, it would be no different. Take the time to sharpen your sword. I know stylists that have spent an entire day on a color correction service. And when you ask them what they charge, my mind is just blown because if you break that down by the number of hours that they spent on it, they made less than a minimum wage. It takes 10,000 hours to mastery. And that's behind the chair, that's devouring any kind of knowledge that comes your way by taking courses, whatever. At the beginning of my career, I took every hair course that I possibly could. I remember even taking a course where it taught me how to hold a bobby pin properly, just to master the technicals. And even today, actually, I still take hair courses because the technical part is always evolving. Once you master the technical part, then you can start working on the pricing part. We have a Master Academy that teaches you everything you need to know from how to formulate and do a consultation, all the way to doing some of the most technical color corrections. If you want to snag yourself a spot in it, just head on over to masterhairacademy.com and you can sign up there for it. The second part of charging your worth is knowing your pricing formula. When Veronica and I do hair, we don't just pull hair prices out of the sky. We have a specific pricing formula that we follow. To take some of the things that you need to take into account, it would be commission structure or your chair rental costs, product costs, how long it takes you to do a service. There's a whole bunch of different little things that you got to consider when you're figuring out your pricing. You have to know why you're charging what you're charging. So for instance, a cut and color for me would start at $170 and a balayage and cut with toner would start at $335. Why do I charge those prices? Well, it depends. What kind of product am I using? How much time is it going to take me? There's a number of things that go into your pricing structure so that you're not just pulling numbers out of the sky. If you need help figuring out your pricing, we have a whole module on the pricing formula in our 10K and Play course. But for today, what I want you to do next in order to get yourself closer to your $1,000 a day goal is start looking and walking and talking and behaving like your own CEO. Tomorrow or your next day of work, what I want you to do is get dressed up for your day. Dress like you're worth $1 million. That will do something inside you that's going to inspire you to learn. You're going to stand a little differently. You're going to talk a little differently. You're going to engage with your client a little differently. And that's also going to inspire you to do things a little differently as well. Step number 3 of learning how to have a $1,000 day is knowing how to connect with your clients. There are 4 different personality types, and in order to connect with these 4 personality types, you need to learn how to be a chameleon. I don't mean change who you are, I just mean change the delivery of how you present who you are. So for instance, when I'm offering my clients a coffee or tea, I will ask each one of those 4 personality types a little differently as to what they want. There are 4 main personality types: the controller, promoter, analyzer, and supporter. I'm not going to go too much in detail with them, but basically the controller is someone that loves to be in control. They like to be the ones that are making all of the decisions. The promoter is the life of the party. Analyzers are the ones that love to analyze data. They love research, facts, and figures. Supporters are the ones that bind a team together. They're the ones that will support people in making sure that the team gets to the finish line. So my action item for you for this step is to figure out what personality type you are, and also pick 3 clients and figure out what personality types they are. Once you figure out what your clients like, you can cater your entire service to fit their personality. People will come in for their hair, but they will come back for the relationship. And then analyze how you connect differently with them. If you have any comments about it, leave them down below, and I would love to hear from you and what you thought. There are a whole bunch of personality tests online. In 10K in Play, we do have one that is catered specifically for hairstylists. If you want to learn more about that, you can check it out in there. Step number 4 is adding additional revenue streams to what you're doing, and also knowing how to upsell services. So if you can make $100 an hour instead of $50 an hour by just making some minor tweaks, would you do those things? Of course you would. Now, it's all about knowing how to troubleshoot your client's hair problems. I'm not telling you to sell them something that they don't need or talk them into something that they don't want, but it's helping to alleviate any problems that they have. Most clients don't know that their dry, flaky scalp is coming from the cheap drugstore shampoo that they're using, or that if they popped a couple blonde foils into where their hair is the most dense in gray, that it'll help to blend it out as it grows out. You can easily troubleshoot your client's needs and make some suggestions with products and services that will help them manage those problems. And in turn, you end up making some more money. So here you can see my client, Ashley. She's booked in for a color and haircut. Her service total is $170. Because she has a little bit of gray that she wants to blend out, I suggested that she put in some partial highlights right around her face. So here I'm going to add in a partial highlight. So we're going to put highlights through her crown. And then obviously with the highlight, we're going to have to add a toner as well. And because it's summer and it's super dry out, she also wants to do a keratin treatment. So that took her service total from $170 to $355 total. So you want to ask yourself, what can I upsell to my client that will be beneficial to their life? Again, I'm not telling you to sell them something that they don't need, but how can you help to solve their hair problems? So my client, Ashley, she had really dry hair, it was staticky, and she was really struggling with the gray that was growing in around her face. I gave her a solution, and that almost doubled her service total. Actually, more than doubled her service total. What I want you to do is, with all your clients tomorrow, during the consultation process, I want you to ask your clients what they are struggling with. Even if this is a repeat client that you've seen for 5 years, every appointment should have a consultation because their lives change and they might have something new come up for them. The very first consult is always the one that takes the longest, but there should definitely be a consultation process every single time your clients come in. I can't tell you the number of times that I had a client sit in my chair that said, I've been seeing my stylist for like 5 years. I was like, well, why are you changing? Like, well, they got stagnant. They stopped asking me what I wanted. They just kept doing the same things over and over again. So for the next day that you're at work, I want you to have a consultation with every single one of your clients. Ask them, what are you struggling with? And then make some solutions, whether that be something in a cut and color, or upselling a treatment, or popping in some extra foils, or solving their problems with products. But probably most problems need to be solved or can be solved with a little bit of a service and a little bit of product. Know how to fix your clients' problems. If you want some more tips and tricks on how to troubleshoot your clients' needs in the consultation process or how to properly retail, we have an entire module dedicated just to retail mastery and client demos in 10K in Play and in the Master Academy. Step number 5 of having a $1,000 day is creating an unforgettable customer experience. Now listen, despite what everyone says, clients do not love surprises. They don't want to come in one time and experience something and then come in another time and experience something completely different. Consistency is key. They're not going to remember what you say, but they will remember how they feel when they're with you. You want to turn your clients into raving fans. You want them to be overwhelmingly happy with your service, because when they're that happy, they're going to tell all of their friends and family about you, which is going to build your clientele. They're also going to make sure that they come back to see you and only you, which is going to keep your retention rate high. My sister and I have a 13-step customer journey that we take each of our clients through every single time that they come in, and that ensures that they get top-notch service every single visit. And not only that, it keeps the service quality consistent between people to people, because remember, you're getting a bunch of referrals from your raving clients. So you want to make sure that when they send in their sister, their mom, their dad, their brother, that everyone's getting the same consistent quality service. If you need help developing your customer journey, we have a whole module that will help you with that too. People will pay your prices as long as you're worth it. What I want you to do is analyze one of your most raving fans of a client. One that got you a bunch of referrals, one that consistently is talking about you, one that comes in all the time, and analyze what you do with them. And that's going to be the base of your customer experience journey. Again, if you need some help on how to develop one, head on over to our courses and you're gonna have a more detailed outline there. There's actually a super simple and easy way to implement all of these 5 things into your business, and a few other things actually as well that will help you get from a $0 day to 5 figures a month. If you want to learn that system and have those tips and tricks, head on over to 10kinplay.com and snag yourself a spot there. That will also get you a spot in our private beauty activist community, where we will be there to answer any questions that you have. It's really hard to kind of do some deep diving over just YouTube comments. Of course, you can reach out to us on there and we will be happy to help you in any capacity that we can. But in this community, you're going to have access to us and also other graduates of this course. The beauty industry is such a beautiful industry, and you can have whatever lifestyle is that you want, as long as you're willing to put the time and effort into help you get there. Also, if you're interested in setting up an extra revenue stream for yourself, head on over to nvennhairbeauty and check out our products. They're easy to stock and easy to sell. It's such a small line and it's perfect for the independent contractor, because it's tough to carry lines that have 50 hairsprays. I don't have enough people working for me. I don't see enough clients in a day to sell 50 different types of hairspray. If you're interested in setting yourself up a pro account, just email info@nvenn.com. Believe that you can do it. I know that you can. Bye.